Okay, so we are now officially awake, and of course, the Miss Marvel trailer dropped. Haven't watched it yet. We're gonna check it out. Let's go.
Okay, so first off, I just want to say, I get it.
You get what?
High school.
Kamala. Kamala.
Another adventure shirt. Cute.
She thinks I'm some kind of weirdo.
You were a weirdo.
Boys. Excuse me?
Yeah.
You're kind of on my shirt.
Sorry.
But you're staring out the window in your little fantasy land. Kamala, hey! Already? Really? Come on, like...
Do I have to figure out my whole future before lunch, or is there like... Maybe they're right. I spend too much time in fantasy land.
That is not you.
It's not really the brown girls from Jersey City who save the world. That's a fantasy too.
Did something happen to you?
No, why? Did you hear something?
Kamala? What does it feel like?
Cosmic. I always thought I wanted this kind of life, but I never imagined any of this.
Do you know what you are?
I'm a superhero.
The suit looks fantastic. Oh, I don't know how I feel about this. So, right off the bat, I can say that I do enjoy the speech bubbles. It definitely gives it a high school type feel, especially since this is like super early in Kamala's journey to becoming Miss Marvel. And I love the fact that they're also going with the fact that she is a Carol Danvers Captain Marvel super fan. That's great. A lot of this is literally taken from the pages of her intro comic book, which is basically, she's a high school student and she's dealing with the fact that she's a young Muslim girl in America that doesn't exactly know where exactly she wants to go. That's portrayed really well in this. The rivalry that she has with like the girls at her high school, but then also the weird friendship that she has with her gay best friend and then her other best friends. That's portrayed really well. I'm liking the actress herself as Kamala. My problem comes down to the powers. It's a bracelet. So, in the comic books, it's the Terrigen Mist. Essentially, the Inhumans release the Terrigen Mist across the Earth, and it changes a bunch of people from being regular people into Inhumans. If you're a mutant and you got hit with the Terrigen Mist, it killed you. Kamala was one of those individuals who got hit with the Terrigen Mist, and she developed the powers of, well, basically, her powers were embiggen, where she can make her limbs grow bigger. I look, it's really hard to describe the ability. Essentially, take Reed Richards and tone down his stretching, but then also make his stretching a little bit more badass. And I liked it because essentially it was her trying to figure things out. Like, for instance, she embiggened her like left hand and she didn't know how to shrink it back, so she had to kind of like hide it from her parents and then everyone, and she was freaking out the way in which a teenage girl would freak out if their powers changed their body and they didn't have any control over it. Of course, she got the ability to control it down the line, and that's great. I do not like the fact that it's a bracelet. Um, because then the question, of course, we have to wait until the show comes out to see, but then the question that needs to be asked is the bracelet the source of her power, or is the bracelet essentially going to give her her power? Because we see her put the bracelet on here and she instantly gets like cosmic abilities. But then it's like, okay, she has the cosmic abilities. Number two, I am not a fan of the hard light constructs. I don't like them. Like, at least not for her character. Like, if another character in the MCU was introduced and they had these powers and these abilities, this would be dope as shit. But the fact that she's the one with the hard light constructs, I really feel in this scene, her hand should have just shot across the room and hit the door and close the door. Giving her like the hard light constructs, it's a little bit too much towards what we already have two people in the MCU doing. Carol Danvers can do something along those lines, and Monica Rambeau is close to also doing something along those lines. So that's three different Captain Marvels in the MCU whose powers are super close and also super similar. You didn't really have to do that, like, at all. I don't understand why we went for the hard light constructs ability. I understand that forever ago when they said that this was going to be the change, it was because they didn't want her abilities and her powers to be so close to Reed Richards. Why? That's the way her powers operate in the comic books. Just make it one for one from the comic book. So I'm really not digging. I'm not digging the change that they made to her abilities in this, like, at all. Yeah, because, like, look at that. Like, I'm not digging that at all. Like, in this type of scenario, she should be like swinging from rooftops, like jumping off of high buildings and shooting her arm out and catching the side of the building, then yeeting herself forward and throwing her hands. Like, people give the Disney game a lot of shit, but the Disney game really did get Kamala's powers down. Like, the way in which she moved and the way in which she traversed, absolutely perfect. The fact that we're going for what looks like cosmic constructs or hard light constructs, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that at all. Like, it looks cool, but it just does not fit with her character, like, at all. Like, look, I'm not I'm not, like, I'm gonna watch it when it comes out, but man, I am not digging it. I'm not digging it at all. Like I said before, this is one of those situations where, like, she should, like, shoot her hand across the street and catch something and then, like, yank herself across, or just, like, grab the edge of something, then, like, run backwards and then just yeet herself across. The fact that she's basically running on air on hard light constructs, this could have went to, like, any other character. If I saw Captain Marvel or Monica Rambeau doing this, it would make sense because their powers are somewhere in that sphere when, like, they're running their binary powers. But, like, her doing it, no. Like, it I'm not digging it. I'm not digging it at all. Like, and the actress looks great. She looks fantastic as as Kamala. But, like, I am just not digging. Is this a wedding reception? You see, like right here, right? So she has the glowing fist, and, like, it fires out the construct and it hits something. Why not just make her abilities the embiggen ability, where it's literally her fist that flies out and hits something, then just comes right back to her hand? Making it a construct is just like, well, what's the limit of the construct? If she can create pathways for her to walk when she's running on air, like, why would I make a fist? Why not just make a Gundam or something along those lines? That's the problem with giving her the abilities of, like, a hard light construct. It's like, well, if I can do this, then why can't I do that? I think that might be... Is that a shot of... I think that's a shot of her in the regular suit. The regular suit doesn't look that bad. And then right here... I keep forgetting what the button is to do the what you call it, but it doesn't matter. Yeah, like, you see? Like, an energy shield to protect her from gunfire. whereas like regular Kamala Harris would just be essentially bulletproof because she's rubber. It's the equivalent of Luffy. What? Now that I think about it, her powers are literally Luffy's powers from One Piece, without the drowning. Like they could have went with that. I'm just not a fan of the hard light constructs. Like the hard light constructs are just not for me. She looks so fucking happy. Like perfect actress to play her. Like down to the T. Perfect actress to play her. She looks like she's gonna have an absolute blast. I just kind of wish that they had went with her abilities from the comic books. Like I really wish that they had kind of went with her abilities from the comic books. And the suit also looks dope as shit. I don't know. It's a mixed bag for me. I'm in love with the actress. I think she's gonna crush it. They're pulling a lot of elements from her debut comic book, which is like a super good thing. I gotta get used to it being right here and not being over here anymore. But the major issue that I'm having is her powers. Like a long time ago when they said that her powers were going to be a little bit different, I was like, okay, we'll wait and see how they look in live action. Now that I'm actually seeing the powers and abilities in live action, I am not feeling it. Like I'm not feeling the hard light constructs. I kind of wish that they had just went with her her regular abilities from the comic books, which is just the embiggen abilities, like she ate a gum fruit. But yeah, we'll see when it comes up, because you already know I'm going to be watching it like regardless. But yeah, let me know how you feel about it. Comment down below. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.